Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in to this morning's video. It's Monday on GasWeatherViz.com, which can mean only one thing. Yes, it's Europe Day. Every Monday at GasWeatherViz.com we have a look at the weather for the coming week, or for the week ahead, across the European continent, and today is no exception. Thanks very much for tuning in. So, I just want to talk about the advertising first of all. There'll usually be a video ad. It'll overlay my web videos at GasWeatherViz.com. Please play those videos. You'll be supporting GasWeatherViz.com by doing that. And I also want to mention the website I'm using for the video. It's weathercentral.de, and it can be found on my links page. So, this is the situation across the continent today. We've got high pressure building over Scandinavia. That's really the story of the week to come. High pressure taking control of the pattern across the continent over Scandinavia. We've got this area of low pressure coming down in the British Isles, producing a lot of rain, sleet and snow. I'll be doing a video on that, but my British viewers anytime soon, you'll be able to see that here at GasWeatherViz.com. We'll be seeing what's happening with the snow today. The rest of the continent actually has a lot of dry weather around at the moment, but we have got this area of low pressure to the south of the country, to the continent I should say, which will be producing some rain and snow in places. But this is the real story of today. It's the cold air setting in through many of these central, northern and eastern parts of the continent. Really cold air being drawn in by that ever-building area of high pressure over Scandinavia. Now, through the Mediterranean, it's quite a bit milder, and it is milder down in the southeast of Europe as well. As it's turned cold in the northwest, it's a turn milder down in the southeast, as often happens. So, having a look at the dew points, where we can see much of the continent bitterly cold. This will be the story of the coming week across much of Europe. It will be the very, very cold weather that's going to be going on across many parts of Europe, particularly up over Scandinavia. Severely cold dew points up there, dew points of -30 across some parts of Scandinavia. And then it extends down into Central Europe as well. Not as cold as that, but still very cold through much of Germany, going down into France and down to Spain as well. But notice the dew points are a good deal higher down here in the southeast, through Italy, through the Adriatic, in toward Greece and Turkey as well. Yeah, the dew points there quite a bit milder. So, two distinct areas of precipitation across the continent there. Got this area of rain, sleet and snow stretching through the British Isles and go down into northern France as well. Heavy rain with snow over the mountains, of course, over the Pyrenees. And then a lot of dry weather through these central areas, but also come down into the south, the southeast. We've got some heavy rain and thunderstorms there through Italy, through the Adriatic, going down in towards some parts of Greece as well. And this through the Balkans, some of this could be wintry in place as well. Also some quite heavy snow over Poland today. So the temperatures, well, very, very cold through many of these central parts of Europe. Temperatures staying well below freezing from eastern France through towards the Low Countries, Germany, Poland, and then even colder as we go up towards the northeast. Really bitterly cold, with temperatures getting to not getting much higher, around -10 once we get through towards the northeast of Europe. Can't see it as well, but also bitterly cold over much of Scandinavia. It's slightly less cold in some western parts of the British Isles and Ireland today, but it's still cold in the east of the British Isles, where we'll be having that snow. And that east-west split is what we see across much of France as well. Milder in the west, very cold over in the east. Now, going ahead to the middle of the week, that high pressure over Scandinavia is very much dominating the scene still, and we're still bringing in this very, very cold air into many central parts of the continent. Notice as well, starting to trigger low pressure here over the Mediterranean. This is happening as this cold air starts to dig in from the northeast and moves down in towards the Mediterranean. We often set up a big area of low pressure somewhere around Italy, and that's what we're starting to see taking place there. So the dew points for the middle of the week, severely cold here across many parts of the continent. That's severe cold dew points even getting towards the British Isles as well once we get through towards the middle of the week. But really cold through much of Germany, really cold through much of France, severely cold over Scandinavia as well, and many of these northeastern countries also very, very cold. Notice the cold dew points are getting down into parts of Italy as well. That's happening as that low pressure is being triggered over the Mediterranean and starting to pull that cold air in. And we've got some quite cold air even going down into the far south of France, so even down in towards the Côte d'Azur. I think we could well be starting to see some winteriness turning up through the middle of the week. So the precipitation showing that these central areas, although bitterly cold, have a lot of dry weather, are also going up in towards Scandinavia. A lot of dry weather there, light snow through southern parts of Sweden, but a lot of dry weather really for Scandinavia, but heavy snow through southern parts of Germany, heavy snow going in towards some parts of Poland as well, down into Austria and those southeastern countries, getting some heavy snow. Hungary perhaps getting some quite heavy snow as we go in towards the middle of the week. This down here across many parts of Greece, probably heavy rain, and then we've got this rain, sleet and snow through parts of Italy, and we've got heavy showers and thunderstorms being trickled through the Mediterranean. Could be some snow, as I say, turning up on the coast, on the Côte d'Azur down in the south of France, and some of these southern parts of France will have a mix of rain, sleet and snow, so pretty inclement sort of weather through the middle of the week. Very cold across many parts of the continent through the middle of the week, temperatures staying well below freezing across much of Germany. Look at that, temperatures just -6, -7 across some central parts of Germany through the middle of the week. And cold weather is extending up to the northeast as well, and down into France also. Even British Isles struggling to get those temperatures much above freezing away from the coast, but it is a good deal milder, as often is the case down in the southeast Europe. Cold air also digging down through parts of Italy as well, certainly central and northern Italy, and along this southern coastal strip of France, as I say, there could well be some winteriness turning up as that cold air really does start to dig in. And then going to the end of the week, well, the Atlantic may try and stay some sort of attack of the high pressure over Scandinavia towards the end of the week, but whether this actually comes off, very uncertain. By the time we get through to the end of the week, confidence in the forecast is falling. There's below pressure still there over Italy, gradually progressing through the Adriatic in towards the southeast of Europe. Dew point still severely cold, but much of Europe through to the end of the week, bitterly cold there for the bulk of the continent. Less so through some of these Mediterranean countries, although we've still got the cold air digging down through central and northern Italy, still got the cold air digging down to this Mediterranean coast of France as well, but it's still quite mild actually down towards Greece. The precipitation, well, there's the snow, as it would be if this is right, coming into the British Isles as the Atlantic tries to stage its attack. Does that actually ever happen? It's too early to say. And also some western parts of France seeing some snow pushing in as well. Still got winteriness over the Pyrenees and down through the south of France as well. But a lot of dry weather, despite the fact it's bitterly cold, severely cold for many of these central areas. It is dry, still dry over much of Scandinavia as well. And then coming down into the southeast, we've got that heavy precipitation, a mix of heavy rain, thunderstorms, and no doubt once we get through towards the Balkans and in towards some parts of Romania as well, some of this will be falling as snow. But it's always a milder sort of scene down in the southeast. It's really the central, northern, western and southwestern parts of the continent that have that severely cold weather through much of this week. So that is the story of the week really. For the week ahead, it looks like the continent is going to be very cold, bitterly cold, severely cold across much of the continent this week. Always milder but very unsettled down in the southeast of Europe, and then possibly right at the end of the week we might start seeing the Atlantic trying to get in. Whether it ever does, it's too early to say. That's it for now. Wrap up warm, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching.